morning all, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would live out my life all whilst talking about the truths of being a YouTuber. This video is sponsored by very.co.uk and the Ace of Swift one. Whoop whoop. So I took to Twitter the other week. I asked you guys, what would you like to know the most about being a YouTuber? I picked out like the most popular ones and I've compiled them together. I'm going to answer them for you today. Today I have a few bits to do. I've got to run into town, do a few errands, do some email. I'm going to be using my Ace of Swift one. Let's just do this. Would you like to get some breakfast before I get up and get dressed? It's a PC, a bit of Bob Ross, happy cheese. Where do I start? I've been YouTubing for around 7 years now. For me, the whole thing was a total fluke. I was at uni doing film, I was working full time, and I happened to upload a video onto YouTube for dyeing your hair purple. It snowballed from there because lots of people clicked on that video because I feel like that at the time was trendy, so everyone wanted to know how to dye your hair like pastel colours because of like Tumblr, whatever. People must have just took a natural kind of interest into me and my personality and my style because I was like, oh, this is really edgy girl with tattoos and colourful hair and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, okay. So I just sort of every now and then would upload when I had time to, and I suppose it was a hobby. In the end, the kind of like hobby just was born out of nowhere just because people took an interest in me. I never thought about the numbers, I never thought about becoming famous, I never thought about it even becoming a job for me because to me then I didn't even know anything about blogging, I didn't know anything about YouTube. And then I remember when I got my first YouTube Google AdSense payment and it was like £60 and I thought to myself, oh my god, can you imagine if I could pay my rent with this? Lo and behold, a few years later, there's me quitting my day job and doing this full time because things got cray-cray. One thing that people always ask me is like, what was everybody else's response to you doing it? And so at first I feel like there was a little bit of weirdness from my friends. I kind of got teased a little bit from a few of the people that I was living with. Even I feel kind of vain making this video, like talking so much about myself. But it is weird, like filming yourself and putting it out there. Like people think it's a vain thing to do or it's very, is the word narcissistic? I'm not sure. People had a weird reaction to it and I feel like also some of my kind of more cooler friends were like, YouTube's lame. But after a while, because I kind of kept at it and I took it very seriously and you know, a lot of opportunities were thrown my way because of it, people then were like, okay, yeah, this is actually the real deal and she's taking this seriously and this is her job. And it was a weird transition, but then everybody started being really supportive. When you're confident with something and you're consistent with it and you show that you're confident and you're not fazed by doing something like this, people will be like, okay, fair enough. Like people are gonna make comments, people just do that because then they've got nothing else better to do or they just don't understand it, they can't get their head around it. You know, you have to kind of just think, oh, they're just being a bit ignorant. If you keep at it and you're confident with what you're doing, like eventually people will just be like, okay, fair enough. It's very hard to just switch off and stop being in this kind of online bubble, considering when your job is essentially about you being a person. So there's always like social media you need to catch up on, like constantly posting, and also the fact that like so many people doing it, it's such a fast-paced thing that I always feel like you have to be switched on to keep up, I suppose, and keep creating, keep feeling relevant. So I do find it personally hard to switch off. I find it really important that I have like really good tech on my side. So if I do want to just like head out for a couple of days in London with my boyfriend or go shopping with my friends in the middle of the day, I don't need to feel like, oh, I can't get all my work done because I haven't got the tech to support me. I've been using the Ace of Swift one from very.co.uk and it's so good for just taking out on the go. So whether that's just like doing work on the train, if I'm going away and I have it in my hotel with me, or I better take it with me just in case there's this email that I need to reply to. Really good that it's got really long lasting battery life, so I don't have to lug around a charger as well. I can make sure that I can work on the go, edit video, I can do photo editing. Because of the fast Intel processor, I can do 4K video on here, which is amazing, because I like to be able to have extra time to myself, you know, whether it's just an extra hour or if it's a day out in London with my boyfriend, if I want to go shopping. I like to have my evenings free so I can watch TV. Being able to get my work done quickly, efficiently, or on the go is a big must-have for me, so I can get the work and life balance just right. So yeah, that is the benefit of being your own boss. It is sometimes a struggle on balancing everything. I guess if I've got like good stuff on my side, then I can. Just having extra time for yourself is super duper important, and especially in this day and age when everyone's at it. One thing that is kind of a negative, but something that I've had to kind of get used to over time, is oversharing and having your like personal life online all the time. So I mean, I've been through some stuff in my time whilst being online, and that is kind of A, need to grow a thick skin so you can deal with people's judgment, and B, just be very cautious of what you share, for you might not be able to cope with the repercussions. You know, I've had some stuff happen to me in the last year that has been really hard to sort of deal with on a personal level, but also having it on the World Wide Web for everybody to talk about is also quite hard. Like, so now, like, I'm quite decisive with who I share on my channel, because you just don't know what could happen, do you? You just don't know what's going on. Dealing with like oversharing or dealing with people constantly commenting on your personal life is tricky, because at the end of the day, I'm still like a normal person. I'm still like got feelings. This is my life, which people are choosing to comment on. Dealing with that and learning from it, it's always a learning curve, has been interesting over the years. If I was to give anybody advice, don't talk about things or show things that are potentially really kind of you're sensitive about. Just share what you're comfortable sharing, basically. I've changed mirror because I can't actually see anything in that one. And loads of people want to know like what it's like. How do you get over vlogging in public? They always ask me that, like, how do you get over it? Because there's people that want to start channels. And I think when I'm vlogging, in my head, I'm like, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. If I didn't do this, then, you know, I wouldn't be here, sort of thing. I wouldn't be walking around town. I'd be somewhere else working. And I think one thing that I also do is I tell myself, like, these people are not going to see me again. They are just people walking by in the street. They might look at you weird for like a second, and then they'll carry on walking and then forget they kind of saw you. Also, in this day and age of like Snapchat, of Instagram stories, people take selfies and stuff all the time and film themselves all the time. So I do think that it is less weird now, generally, to do that kind of stuff in public. And I don't think people will be really fazed by it anymore. But it is like a mental hurdle to get over. It's just breaking that, like, oh, what are people going to think of me? They're going to think I'm crazy. I think it's really important to stand out. Definitely have your own style, and be yourself. But I feel like people chase numbers. Anyone that sets out to do blogging or YouTubing, a lot of people's mistake is they focus too much on the amount of views or the amount of followers they have. I think that it's really important to actually just really hone in on just being yourself and creating really good content that you're happy with. And I feel like the followers and the likes and stuff will come off the back of that. If people think that you're genuine or like relatable or funny or entertaining, they will naturally follow you. Too many people make the mistake of like just thinking, I want to become a blogger, I want to become a YouTuber, what can I do? Rather than actually taking something that they love, like a hobby or an interest or something that they know a lot about, and creating content off the back of that. I feel like if you're really passionate about something and you have a voice or you have a message or you have something to say, that's where it comes from. That's the stimulant for like making really good content that people are going to find useful. The best YouTubers are the people that are funny, who are passionate, who are knowledgeable, who have a message. I always tell like younger people, because obviously YouTube is such like a important part of their life, and you know, YouTube to them is like a career, which it kind of is. Like, I mean, I've got a career doing this now, but you can't just go, I want to become a YouTuber, and then you say to them, what do you want a YouTuber about? And they go, don't know. Like, no, it's the wrong attitude to have. I'm not doing my cushions properly. Use YouTube as a platform to extend that interest. Don't just go, I want to become a YouTuber for the sake of it, because I just don't think that that's a good thing. But that's just me personally. I've got to go in town, get some posts, and there's a few little bits and bobs that I need to grab for something that I'm doing, and then probably grab some lunch, because currently how do I start my car? Currently right now, we've got no food in because I've been away. I've got my camera, got my card readers. I just, honestly, this sort of stuff I take with me all the time. First port of call is lunch. Favourite place to go to Norwich is a place called Pono. They do poke bowls. So I'm gonna go there first. Then I just need to pick up a few little bits, and then I'll go to the post office. That's one thing that I'm very grateful for, is like I can pick and choose when I want to work. So if I have to pop out and do errands, it's really handy because I can. But I have to kind of, I either do work when I'm out or I make up for it later in the evening. So sometimes I feel my most creative at night time. Maybe it's because I'm a vampire, I don't know. Yeah, being your own boss is fun. I feel like there's a bit of stigma around the topic of earning money, but it took me quite a while, to be fair, to be in a position where I could quit my job and just do it full time. And I think that like people don't really understand actually how hard it is to make a living from blogging and YouTubing full time. You get money through AdSense, which is for YouTube advertising, you know, like on the little ads. But in order to actually get a reasonable wage, as it were, one must get quite a considerable amount of views in order to basically sustain a normal wage. So there's the other option, which is sponsorships. I don't know, I feel like there's a bit of taboo around the subject, but I think personally, always work with brands that you either already love or you know of, that you're happy with, that you like. If you understand like a campaign idea and you think it's a good one and you like the messaging, or if it's to do with like a product and you're like, yeah, I like this product already, or actually I can see myself using that, etc, 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 then that's when the best and most organic ones come out. If anything, I feel flattered. I mean, this video is sponsored and I feel flattered that I've been asked to do it. It's not easy. Like, earning money and doing this full time isn't easy. It's a lot of bloody work. Oh no, my car's stopped. And I think one of the weirdest things that I face as a person is when people say to me like, what do you do for a living? Or what's your job? And you go, sometimes I don't know how to answer the question. Sometimes I'm like, I make videos, or I'm into fashion. When I first started seeing my boyfriend, I didn't tell him what I did for a living until I'd met him. So it didn't really ask what I do for a living. It just thought we didn't talk about it. And then, because I didn't want him to go on my channel and get like this sort of opinion on me before he'd even met me, because you know, sometimes I can be a total weirdo on my channel. So my studio's at the end of the garden, and this is where I do the most of my filming. Or if we have a party, we call it party shed, because it is also a shed. So let's go inside. My tips for anyone starting would be authenticity. I think it's really important to have a really unique style and personality. There's so many people copying or, you know, social climbing or chasing the fame. You can be strategic and be business minded and do what's popular and do what's clickbait. But I feel like to have an actual audience that really do genuinely care about you, authenticity is so important. Having something new and different to say is kind of also important. Or if not, just having something unique or sellable about yourself is also important too. Not chasing the views, like just being happy with making content. And as I said, like the views or the likes will come if you just keep consistently making stuff that's good and you're proud of. Talking to other bloggers and collaborating with people. You've got to have a thick skin. You're gonna get criticized by people. People aren't always gonna like you. I sometimes choose not to read certain things because I know it might upset me. You can't let yourself be hurt by people that don't like you, because they don't even know you, and people's opinions, they change all the time and you can't please everyone. So that's another important thing, is like try not to please everybody. I always love to kind of prove people wrong, and I think if you're consistent and you don't let people's judgment or like opinions on like what you're doing and why you're doing that for like bother you, and you keep at it, I always like to show people wrong. So there's lots of people say to me like, oh, my parents or my friends think I'm weird for doing this, or I want to stop blogging, or I feel that, but I feel really self-conscious about filming myself or put myself out there from what people will say. I just say you've just got to do what makes you happy and not like think about what other people will think, because at the end of the day, like, it's not their life, is it? It does feel like a lot of responsibility when your entire career is basically reliant on people liking you. Do you like the way I look? Do you like the way I talk? Do you like the way I dress? Do you like the way I act? And it's incredibly mentally straining because you're like, wow, you just feel like you have to have constant validation from people. At the same time, the people that matter are the ones that will care. So never try and change yourself or compromise yourself to feel like you're fitting in with other people. I have a really great community of people who are really supportive and they like me for me, and it's an amazing feeling, but I can't imagine what it would be like to have to change yourself to feel like you could fit in. Obviously, they're not the people that you want to surround yourself with. It's just like everyday life. Make friends with people that like you for you. You gotta be you. Okay, yeah. So, I am done for the day. Just put my comfies on, tie my hair up, glasses are on, we're all good, all systems go, I am done. Done! We're gonna go and cook some dinner?
Yeah.
Have a chill?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to, wait there, hang on. I'm going to cook me some Thai green style. We also need to buy some stuff for our American trip.
So unprepared.
Do you want to put a movie on?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. So I've got everything done, and life is great. We also have them ice creams. So I think that is gonna be great. Absolutely great. I might put some music on whilst I cook some tea. Yes, everyone, thanks for stopping by. I hope that was informative and useful. And don't forget to also go check out very.co.uk and the Ace of Swift 1, because it'll help you get your jobs done quickly so you have more time for yourself. Lovely jubbly like we are now.
Yay!
Yay! That good, Josie?
Yeah.
I love ice cream. Am I disgusting? Yes. This is everything I wanted and more.